All right, guys. So thank you again for, watching all these videos. We're now going to be talking about Sam Leavitt and just what an interesting prospect. He's from, Lynn, Oregon, outside of Portland. And, the guy is 6'2", and he's going to Washington State. And, Kenny Dillingham at Florida State was trying to recruit Leavitt. Kenny Dillingham's now at Oregon. But really, the recruiting, it was Arizona, and Arizona's been down. So Jed Fish was interested, and Jed Fish has been around NFL quarterbacks. But you kind of look at what Eric Morris is doing, and Eric Morris is the offensive coordinator now at Washington State. They got the number one JUCO quarterback, not a JUCO quarterback, an FCS quarterback from Houston Baptist. He was the coach there. They got Cameron Ward, and Cameron Ward could have first-round talent. Cameron Ward could be electric to watch. All right, Cameron Ward has all the gifts in the world, all the arm strength, all the leadership qualities. So I got to go back and maybe even pause a little bit, but you look at Sam Leavitt, and Oregon didn't really pursue. Now, Oregon ends up with Dante Moore, and Dante Moore has all the mobility, all the accolades, and Dante Moore's going to be phenomenal. I think Dante Moore's going to be great, right? Dante Moore, 6'2", but also very just built, can really run the ball, quick release, leadership qualities, great stuff. But Sam Leavitt, his arm talent is among the best that I've seen in this class. The ball just explodes out of his hand. And he is just so impressive as a quarterback. He kind of has the same release. I know he wears number 10, but he has the same release as Mac and as Eli Manning. It's just such an efficient release. And he could throw the ball 55, 60 yards in the air on a line. And his release is quick. It's measured. It's excellent. Watch him right here. He almost looks like Justin Herbert there. Guns it in there. Plays big on film. Same size as an NFL quarterback at 6'2". Same size as like Kirk Cousins going to Michigan State. And he's mobile. He's athletic. You see him with the ability to run there. And then look at this touch throw. Over the top with touch. I know he has great protection, but this throw is elite. The trajectory, the height, of course, is the same word as trajectory. How he slides in the pocket, how he moves in the pocket. He's a gem. He would be a great quarterback even at Penn State, even at a lot of other schools. He is an excellent quarterback to me. When you start to really look at this class, you got Malachi Nelson at the top of this class. You got the Jackson Arnold, who won the Elite 11. You got Nico, who's 6'5". So Leavitt, again, maybe if he was 6'3" or 6'4", I guess it's about the measurables. Maybe it's about that he's playing at Oregon. Now the Oregon Ducks went after Avery Johnson, and they ended up, and they also went after Dante Moore. Jaden Rashada might have been in the mix, and Rashada's a big time talent too. I think Rashada's probably in the top 5. But in terms of who can make it in the NFL, it's not inconceivable that Washington State could end up with, back-to-back really great offenses and quarterbacks. And their new coach is like Dickerson or something. He was a former guy who was on the staff last year with the former with Hawaii coach, with Rolovich and some of those other guys like Craig Knutson and or some of these other guys that were on the staff that got let go in that got let go and fired due to just so much uncertainty around coronavirus. So it's a weird time for Washington State. Very weird, right? Because you know what Washington State's going through right now? A coaching change due to an off-field issue, a coaching change where they hired Rolovich and had to get rid of him for an off-field issue within the past 2 years, okay? They're watching as UCLA and USC are leaving their conference. They're watching as Oregon's likely going going to leave, as Arizona State's likely going to leave. So the Pac-12 is crumbling around them. They haven't had stability, of course, since Mike Leach was there, since Minshew, since Falk, since it's not Dante Pettis, but since even they had like this crab receiver. That was a good receiver with Luke Falk. But like a Gabe or something. But and then of course they had like the McCaffrey like little running back too. The point is, Washington State, they're up in Pullman. They have moderate attendance. Again, coach off-field controversy with the virus thing, and again, they're so uncertain, but yet they have Eric Morris, who is a complete stud from Texas, who worked under Kingsbury, who worked at Texas Tech in like 2009 to 2012 when it was Kingsbury. I don't know if Graham Harrell overlapped, but of course you have Zach Kitley, who is the stud offensive coordinator at Western Kentucky. And he was actually at Houston Baptist, so he would play Arson at Wood, which is where Cameron Ward and Eric Morris both were. But you look at this kid now, Sam Leavitt, to go back to this video. So Sam Leavitt's going to be working with he's going to be working with Eric Morris, and I'm just saying that Washington State's going to be a fun football team. I mean, they could have a ton of offensive firepower, and the new coach there, who's an assistant, is well-liked. He's young, and he's recruiting at a pretty dang high level. So very interesting transition, not only in college football, but for a team like Washington State that in the Pac-12 is from a smaller market in Pullman. The future of Washington State couldn't be more rocky, but yet they are landing big-time signal callers. And I believe that Leavitt, with Eric Morris and that staff, it's just such a fun place for him, and it's close to home. There he kind of, he could have stayed in the pocket a little longer, waiting for that to develop. But again, boy, he has wheels, and he has a huge arm. And if we're going to go back here and watch like the middle of these plays, I mean, the way that he throws the ball over the middle is exceptional. The way he could duck out of traffic. Just look at the throwing motion there. Look at this throw. I mean, this throw is incredibly complex. This is a 35-yard throw, from the far hash. We're going 35 yards far hash. Absolute dime on the outside shoulder. Oh, my gosh. If I'm being completely honest, just watching the tape, this kid, to me, he might even be a top 5 quarterback in this class. He might be a 5-star quarterback if we're just watching this tape, as crazy as that might sound, because of his ability to throw the football, because of the release, because of the arm strength, because of the accuracy, because of the decision-making. You look at Peyton Fournier at Michigan State, plays almost exactly like him. He has all the skills to make it as big as he wants. He has pocket mobility, and look at this throw, guys. I mean, there's nowhere to put this ball. Nowhere. Great coverage. He throws it on a line where his guy can get it with anticipation. I mean, ridiculous stuff by Sam Leavitt. Ridiculous stuff. And very, I think, overlooked. Okay, BYU kind of after smaller schools, Arizona, and Washington State, they're not the powerhouses of powerhouse. He's an 85. He's a 3-star quarterback. It shouldn't matter to Sam Leavitt. He should have that chip on his shoulder and go make it. Go make it bigger than even the quarterbacks that Oregon is recruiting. Go make it bigger than even like Avery Johnson and Dante Moore. Go compete with those guys, because toe-to-toe, those guys are really great players in their own right. And they have, they have dual threat abilities and throwing abilities that are also great. But Sam Leavitt could be near the top of this list. And just watching from this tape, it's outstanding what this guy can do. He can throw it 65 yards. He can get outside of the pocket when he's in trouble. He throws different types of footballs. He can layer it inside to a tight end down the middle of the field. He can also put air under it, throw it right to his receiver on the back of the end zone. Look at this throw in the middle of the field. I mean, that's a professional throw. Professional. So this kid has all the ability. Some of his throws are so impressive, it's like he has a tailwind of like 10 miles an hour as he's lining up to throw the ball. So you're throwing it at the beach and you have 10 miles per hour of wind with you, the ball just will jump out of his hands. All right, so this is like some of the most impressive highlights you're going to see. All right, and again, little small town outside of Portland, and I think that he's really a gem, and he could work out. All right. They also had other guys like Gunnar Cruz at Washington State, and his high school highlight tape was like Dak Prescott in Arizona, and I thought he would be a more efficient college quarterback. And then he got a little bit of time last year. He went back to Arizona after Washington State didn't really work, and they have Delora. Delora's a mobile quarterback, very mobile and efficient and accurate, tough, kind of has all those traits, and he moves the team, and he moved it better than Gunnar Cruz could. I guess Gunnar Cruz had that slow delivery. I mean, Gunnar was taller. So maybe they look at Leavitt's competition level. Again, we're not privy to competition. We're not privy to all of Sam Leavitt and his meetings and his throwing. Who knows? It could be personality stuff. I'm very surprised at this. I mean, just watching the tape, this guy has all the ability. And there are smart quarterback, like Jed Fish has been around Brady, he's been around the Patriots, so he knows great quarterback play. I just think it's great quarterback play. So, maybe Leavitt, we'll see what happens with his career, and we knock on wood for good health, but it would sure be fun to watch this guy play. And I'll tell you right now, probably if I ever released rankings, I'd say, Sam Leavitt, he's a top 5 talent in this quarterback class. I mean, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, he's an NFL guy. He's a round 1, round 2 NFL guy. He should play. If everything goes according to script, he has the potential to not only play at a high level in Division I, he has the potential to make it work as an NFL quarterback. And I know that that's putting lofty expectations on him, but hey, not a lot of people probably are as a 3-star. So again, really fun highlight tape. Been watching Leavitt's highlights for a while, decided to post the video today as we, reviewed a couple of Oregon Duck defensive linemen and other guys as well. But let's see what Leavitt does, man. It's going to be exciting.